Good evening. And if you're just tuning in, I need to grab my glasses. So give me one sec here. Of course, Instagram's not playing nice tonight. Where did you go? I just sent this to me. Welcome to Beneath the Hollow Moon. Anyways, I know that. And give me a sec. We have our intro written, and my phone has decided not to cooperate tonight, of course, when you have everything all set up. Anyways, I am one of your hosts, Lorilei Potvin. My amazing co-host, Kerrilynn, is next to me. But give me 1 second here. Never fails when you have everything ready. So here we go. That's what you use too many devices. So welcome to Beneath the Hollow Moon, where the folklore burns slow, and the strange never fades. I am your host, Lorilei Potvin, as I said, and you are listening to us live on UFO Paranormal and Radio Network and United Public Radio Network 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. And I'm here with my amazing, as I said, co-host, Kerrilynn Shellhorn. And tonight we are following the trail of Haunted Amusement Parks.
Haunted Amusement Parks. Hello, everybody.
Oh, we got Carrie here. Is that your friend, Carrie?
Yeah.
She said, hey, chickie. So what a crazy day today. How's your day been since I touched base this morning with you? I'm here.
Yeah. It was a good day. I think that less crazy. I'm finding it less crazy than it was. The beginning of the week was crazier for me. But unexpected things for sure have been happening all day today. Unexpected weirdness and unexpected people showing up, which is, throwing me off kilter a little bit too.
I have been off kilter. Now, of course, we've had a little bit of activity at my house, paranormal stuff, all good, all gone. But I think that's sort of what's thrown me off a little kilter too. So not strange in the arena that we play in. And sometimes these things happen, right? And so thankfully to you, because I don't know why I didn't even think of the solution. I followed this solution and yes, it's gone. What was here?
Yeah. And that's what building a community is all about.
That's right. And even our audience, and I want to thank you on behalf of both of us, because actually I'm going to say I took this from another podcast because I did. I follow true crime. But what I love that they actually say it at the end of the show. But, everybody and their dog nowadays is doing a podcast. Not a bad thing. But you guys choose to spend your time with us and our network. And we really, really appreciate you. So thank you. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Go anywhere else.
And I love it. Denise Mintz, I love the clown. I had thought about dressing up as my scary clown. I had pulled the costume out. And then I was like, not sure. I'd probably have a perimenopause hot flash and inside that clown costume tonight. But for sure for Halloween. We'll do it for Halloween. Hello, Michelle Wilfong.
Hi, Michelle Wilfong. I was actually shocked because I think my makeup takes me 5 minutes, and it does in the summertime. But a full face of makeup is like this. Literally took like 1/8 the normal time. Oh, it's Michelle DeRoche, our station manager, and she's up right after us tonight. Second night of the Outer Realm, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Great. So I think we are going to start off with our Did You Know? We're going to do things slightly off kilter than what we normally do every week. Thank you, Deb Morris. You know what, Deb? I would not get a ding dong darling from Val Garland with this makeup, but it will do. Does anybody watch Glow Up? Do you watch Glow Up? Val Garland is a makeup artist and has done all kinds of TV and movies, and she's one of the judges on Glow Up. And when she really likes it, she's like, ding dong, darling. Or she'll go, that's a double ding dong. And I'm not going to get one ding dong tonight.
She actually says that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Ding dong, darling. Double ding dong. I don't get that tonight. But the effort was made to be creepy for our haunted Oh, you have watched it. I love watching it.
Yeah, I know I don't have cable anymore, but I can watch whatever I want because I never would download something that's not meant to be downloaded. But if you can take a good look around and take a look, usually somebody's got something uploaded and I have a few ways to find things live. I just saw that. Yes.
Yes, Deb. Ding dong dead, darlings. That's right.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
That's what we're going for. That's what we were going for. And you know what? In my head, I was like making sure I went down my arm so I didn't pull you out of the illusion.
I didn't. I like my brown tanned arms.
Oh, it's a hot mess.
And then we were for balloons, and we couldn't find them. So I found a pinwheel tonight.
I think that's so perfect.
We did this. Well, I can go in my fairy garden too, I figured. So we were discussing because we were thinking, do we get elaborate? Like, do we put on? Then I talked about, I showed you my Harley Quinn jacket I have and the hat. And then we thought, well, you can't see the ponytails, but the ponytails are really messy and high up. Of course, so tonight
we're gonna start with some did you know facts. We are going to move to theories and talk about theories. We're just gonna switch up things a little tiny bit. So we're gonna talk about did you know facts, our theories. We are going to do some of the history to Lake Shawnee as well too, and then we've got some videos to put some of those theories up for discussion when we watch those. Oh, hi, John. No, we're not doing readings tonight. We are talking about haunted and abandoned amusement parks.
Both of us do, but our shows, no, we don't do readings.
We don't do online. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not during the show.
No. Michelle's in the future. It's Friday over there already in Australia. Says, good day, folks. Looking good. Well, not staying. We'll watch tonight. That's okay. We're glad you popped in. Hi. Mm-hmm. Right?
Okay. Canada's Wonderland in Vaughan, Ontario. Have you been to Canada's Wonderland?
I have, and I've been to many times to Toronto and Vaughan. When my son was alive, we took the boys when they were little. And my youngest son, who had severe autism, was flipping out so badly. And even though both my boys look identical to my ex-husband, we got stopped and they thought we were stealing a child.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he was losing it because of the noise.
How is that?
I felt for him, but
they do the haunted Halloween in October as well too, which is a lot of fun. So Canada's Wonderland in Vaughan, Ontario. So it is the most visited. And in 2023, it had 3.23 million visitors. Wow. That kind of shocked me, actually. I didn't think it would be, I knew it would be high, but I didn't think it would be that high.
Well, it's always packed.
Oh, yeah, it's very peoply. Way too peoply for me. Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World, Florida, approximately 17.72 million visitors in 2023. And Disney Parks, approximately 142 million visitors. And Six Flags, where's Six Flags again?
Texas, I think.
Do you remember where Six Flags is?
Yeah, I think it's at Texas. If I'm not mistaken.
Anybody in the chat know, please?
I think in my, Six Flags.
22.2 million visitors per year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people. So I wanted to know how many visitors would be there and then look at what the risk assessment was, like how many accidents or death actually happens, and is it minimal compared to how many visits they have or visitors that they have. Right. So even though there's millions, there is an association of amusement parks and attractions. And it reports that the chance of being seriously injured on a ride at a U.S. fixed site amusement park is 1 in 16 million. Wow. It's in Ohio, Sandusky, Ohio. Thank you. Yeah, so 1 in 16 million. So when we talk about what some of the common causes are for those deaths, it is mechanical failures, which frightens me. I think about that a lot. So And I know that we manifest through our thoughts are energy and creates our reality. So I don't really visit a whole lot of amusement parks because my thoughts go to like, did they really check all those bolts?
I've seen just to
Mm-hmm.
support you with that. Somebody, when I was looking for research and videos, they would get on a ride with somebody and they'd have a bolt tucked up under the seat. And as the ride starts getting going, they're saying, dude, I think I just found this, like, hang on, it's jiggling. These people were losing it. And I mean, can you imagine? That's not funny.
You're doing that as a practical joke?
Yeah.
Oh.
And filming it.
They need bees up their arse for that.
That's too kind.
That's bad. That's so bad. Okay, operator error, also very bad. And then they word it differently, but essentially somebody behaving like an asshat and not following the rules. So patron non-compliance with safety instructions.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. That, and I would say maybe some of those. So there are other deaths that are associated or hauntings due to other factors, but I just wanted to know about like risk assessment, deaths that way, associated that way, and how many visitors they get before we started talking about theories.
Because I went through by country even, but we could do a whole show about it. Like, actually, I didn't do country.
Yeah, we've got so much information.
Well, I asked them to do it by continent, but they broke into so much information. I didn't ask for it. Like Canada, estimated deaths per year, less than 1 per year, no consistent annual data, isolated incidents reported. A 2001 death on a reverse bungee ride. Oh my God, that's something I would never do. Bungee ride in Ontario is noted, but fatalities are rare. So they get into Mexico, Europe, all over. It sounds like it's rare. Oh, so for Six Flags, I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, Heidi's saying, as a kid, my family went to Six Flags. On the roller coaster, my shoulder thingy wasn't locked and it flew up and I lost my purple drink in a grape sippy cup.
Oh,
crazy.
Oh.
So wrong. Yeah. So wrong.
I like really twisty, crazy rides. My back doesn't. So I just go to be the bag holder now.
My motion sickness got worse as I got older, and it's really bad now. So I could not imagine even going on one anymore. And I've always been very scared of heights, but I would do the roller coasters anyway. But those bungee things, no. The only time I thought about doing a bungee thing was if it was going to stretch me a couple inches taller, like if it was going to stretch me out a wee bit, like the Gumby doll.
See, you can't see how tall we are, and I've met you in person, but you told me how tall you are, and I've shrunk a little bit with my back injury, but I'm well over 5'8", and I have bigger hands and feet. I used to be almost 5'10" before I had my surgery and my back. I have bigger hands and feet than my brother, and I'm taller than him, whereas you can't tell when we're on here what height we are.
No, nope, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to start talking about some theories?
Sure. So
about why,
like as to why we're seeing
hauntings can happen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things is theories. Is there emotional residue and imprinting theory? Meaning, because the ones we looked at, because I didn't find much before I get into the theories in the way of active parks. Well, no, I guess Disneyland, but even after hours. But still, emotional residue and imprinting theory. So what is it? So the theory, it talks about the intense emotions, joy, fear, excitement, or tragedy can possibly leave a psychic imprint on a location, creating a residual energy that can manifest as paranormal activity. And it says amusement parks designed to evoke they are designed to evoke strong emotions through thrilling rides, and family memories are prime candidates for such imprints, especially when tragedies occur. And when we were talking about this, and you had brought it up earlier, and I hadn't quite caught it, and then I remembered what you had said. in the way of even the Disney movie Monsters, Inc., that they were collecting screams, right? The nightmare monsters. That kind of makes sense.
And it powered their world.
Yes.
Right. But I hadn't thought about it being in a positive way either. Like it still scared screams, but then you laugh after as well too. So it's intense emotion. And I never thought about positive, intense emotion potentially leaving an imprint as well too.
Plus the EMF from, the energy creates that frequency and from running the rides. And then do you want me to get into some of the places? Hi, Mark Eddie. Or do you want to get into that? It's up to you. We just kind of go
totally with it. Yeah, we can totally roll with it.
Okay, so Lake Shawnee, and it's in North Carolina, right?
West Virginia.
Why did I say North Carolina? I'm doing this from memory, guys. West Virginia. And I've heard of this park many, many times. And so, for example, and it said West Virginia right on the notes. I could have just read that for trying to use my own memory, all the research. Okay. It says the park's history of violent deaths, for example, the Clover Bottom Massacre. So there is an Indigenous First Nations history where this park was built. So that's what it's referring to. And then it says Emmeline or Emmeline. I'm not sure how to say her first name, so please forgive me for that. Schrader's death on the swings. So that was in the 60s, if I remember. So please correct me if I'm wrong, Kerrilynn. And it was a little one riding on the swing ride, and there was a delivery truck that backed up and hit her on the swing. Isn't that what happened?
Something like that. Yeah, it was an accident. It was an accident that ended up happening. I know Grant Evans has been on Spirit Switchboard, and our friend Lisa Crick, they have both been, and they both said it was an incredible experience there.
And then I had forgotten, because there are channels I know anybody loves to follow, but I do watch the Paranormal Files with Colin Brown. He's had a channel for over 10 years, and I've seen him go to notorious places, and if he goes with his parents, Mama and Papa Spooks, and that's not their names, it's Mary and Jeff, and then his brother-in-law now comes, Connor, and they've gone to notorious places that have activity, and if they've got no activity, you're going to go through the video and see and he'll tell you, we didn't get much activity or we didn't get anything. I have a lot of respect for people that don't go in and manufacture or try to create something. But he did go to Lake Shawnee. I remember I watched that. So, you got I'm going to screw up.
Did they capture?
They did. I remember I didn't get time to rewatch it, but because he did the video about 2 years ago. So he's since branched out, Colin, because he's married now. He's got a beautiful wife named Courtney. She doesn't, I don't think, likes the paranormal. So I know they do a podcast. It's called Murders in America or something. And then now Colin is really branching out into crimes against humanity.
Does that seem silly to you? Sorry to interrupt you. We don't like paranormal, but we're going to do murder.
I like the murder, but I don't like the paranormal. I didn't question it. But maybe he's decided. I don't know, because she came out a couple times and then she never goes. Her brother goes, Connor. So Connor and Colin usually go. His last name's Brown. You can find his channel on YouTube. I don't know how this kid does this. He puts out a new documentary every week, self-shot, self-edited. Some of them are like 3.5 hours long. And he usually does the history of the place they're going to and breaks into the story. And then they evolve into kind of like a format like we talked about with our shows. So you kind of know what to expect. Then they do an investigation. And then they usually end up with, my mind just went completely blank. Estes method. Sorry. Usually they'll end up with something like that. But he's now branching into, I have found, a lot of topics, tragedies, and crimes against humanity, we'll say, that are sort of coming out to the surface. So it's not really paranormal. He still checks for it, but is reporting stories that nobody's talking about, but need to be brought up. So we have Emmeline, her very tragic death. And its sacred native burial ground could amplify emotional residue. It says visitors report seeing Emmeline's ghost or hearing children's laughter, possibly as echoes of past joy or trauma.
Yeah, and I've heard reports about the woods there feeling off kilter as well too. So, and we're going to talk about the history of Lake Shawnee more later.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to screw up this name. Pripyat, I think it is in Ukraine. The sudden trauma of the Chernobyl disaster, paired with the park's brief operation for evacuees, left a mix of fleeting joy and catastrophic grief. Orbs and screams captured on camera may reflect this emotional intensity. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to continue?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we have Cedar Point and Six Flags, operating parks like these filled with adrenaline pumping rides and historical tragedies. For example, hotel breakers alleged unaliving, I will say, just to be careful on YouTube, and Annie's. Now, you may want to comment on these two, because I didn't get it. I know those two I did not get a lot of info on, but
Yeah.
Did you get much on that info too, what
No.
had happened? Yeah, so this was from my stuff. So if anybody's in that area or have heard about that, please let us know. We have so much information. If we had dug, we could have done a month of shows.
Yeah, but we're going to have a lot on Lake Shawnee, and there's so much to show and talk about. So giving the bits, you guys, if you get a tidbit, you can go down the rabbit hole yourselves with some of these other places, and we may come back around and do another.
And then, so anything like that could trap emotional energy, manifesting as apparitions like the carousel woman in Cedar Point, or Annie's hair tugging spirit. Now, the one I know a lot about are the Disney parks. That's up here. It says the happiest place on earth. And it says generates intense joy, but tragedies like Deborah Stowe's death at Disneyland may leave sorrowful imprints seen in security footage of ghosts. And there is a notorious video that was filmed long before AI on a security camera. And it's theorized it was caught in the middle of the night, and it looks like a man you can see through walking along one of the areas. Like there's a pathway, but it would have been a guest area, but obviously nobody's visiting. And they think it may be Walt Disney himself.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Did you want to add anything to that, Kerry? Then you want me to carry on?
Okay. Yeah, because I know that I'm going to talk about that video again when we come down to like some other theories as to why we may be seeing Walt Disney.
And then there's the portal or thin veil theory. And so what is that? Some people believe amusement parks, especially abandoned ones, act as portals or places where the veil between the physical and spiritual worlds is thin. And you guys, please feel free to give us your thoughts. Are you near any of these places in the chat? Let us know. Have you experienced anything, even if it's not a haunted amusement park? But I have a story. I just came to mind as I said that. A friend shared with me that they think as a little girl, they went through a time loop, actually. I just thought of it now as I said that. So, so speaking of portals, go ahead.
Heidi's just sharing the Walt Disney rabbit hole on why they made the movie Frozen. Walt himself frozen after death.
Oh, yes, I've forgotten about that. You are right, Heidi. Excuse me, just grabbing a bit of my beverage. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff there. But okay, well, now that I brought it up, I might as well say I'm not going to give any identifying details, but it was high strangeness, which most of us are why we're in this world or taking a look at it, right? We've experienced it. Something's happened as a child, or usually as a child, most people say. So this person shared a story with me. They were at an amusement park and they were with their family. And I'm probably not going to do it justice, but if I remember correctly, when they were little, they were going to go to the bathroom and their family, to take a washroom break, and their family was right behind them. And all of a sudden they blinked and their family was completely gone. They couldn't find them anywhere. They didn't leave, and the family wasn't looking for this person. So the person was terrified, went to the bathroom, looking everywhere, finally caught up with the family. And if I remember the way she told me the story, like no time had passed. Her family wasn't even looking for her. They couldn't even believe. Like she said, I was gone. I was gone like for an hour. Like you could, all of a sudden, like I literally blinked within a millisecond and there was nobody there. And she said, so I
That's
was right.
crazy.
I know, as a little kid, and her family to this day says like nothing happened. Like, and she's going, I know this happened because I couldn't find you guys anywhere. And I know you can get lost in an amusement park, but there was no time for this to happen. And then for their family
Right.
to see you weren't gone.
The time stuff gets me all wibbly wobbly brained. Like it's hard to wrap your head around time loops and time slips and
So did
all of
they
that.
enter a
It's a
portal
lot to
maybe at the amusement park with this theory? Did they have a time slip? They don't have missing time. It's like they went into an alternative
And
timeline or portal. Mhm.
do portals just appear and disappear as well too? Do they randomly? Or are they fixed
I think we
spots
can
or
have
both?
both depending on who and what created them. Because think about a mirror, right? There's some
Mm,
entities or creatures. It doesn't have to be bad either. Could use a mirror as a portal, and then like I
mm-mm.
know even in my previous home, many people theorized there was a portal underneath the stairs. But even having people energetically check it out, it was almost like it wasn't there, and then it would open. So I'm not sure. Hi, Cindy. So I'm not sure. Like, what's your thoughts? Do you think like they can move, but some are fixed?
So I don't know. I don't know if I have a full I don't know if I know enough to have a full opinion about it because I know stories for both. Is it big
Ah,
emotions? Does it shift or change based on disasters like Chernobyl? So something happens, or a natural disaster as well too. Could that open up things? I don't know.
so Heidi's got a comment, but what I was just going to add to that, it to me, what I feel and I think I hear from spirit is that it depends on who created it and the intention behind it. With that being said, as I'm hearing this right
Mhm.
now, is it also could be depending on what's beneath the ground, the activity that's happened, and there's so
Mhm.
many other factors, right? So I don't think we have a definitive
Yeah.
answer because she didn't feel different. It was just
No,
literally like
I don't
she,
think we'll
yeah.
know. And crazy. That's so crazy. And it's hard when you're a little kid having a paranormal experience to have adults not believe you, because then it
Mhm.
makes you feel like you've imagined the whole thing. So it just creates other issues. We had a doorway that was open in an older home that I had to
Mhm.
move out of the house
Mhm.
onto the property further away from the house.
Yeah. So Heidi, when you
The
said the
boards
boards can oh, sorry, go ahead, read, please. Go ahead. You want to read it?
The boards can open. Heidi Goal is sharing. The boards can open portals, I heard, and some healers can close portals, I thought.
Oh, yeah. I have a
Mhm.
whole thing. I'm going to grab it right now to show you. I brought it out before. It's right up here. So Marie Diamond, I didn't know she was part of the series way back in the day of The Secret when they made the documentary. This was a free 4-day masterclass I went to, and I ended up buying the whole series. And it came with copper measure. They were copper tubes measured in cubits. It didn't have to
Housing
be.
rods?
No, it came with dowsing rods, but also actual copper boards. It's called diamond dowsing. And she teaches you how to
Oh,
actually open a portal if you needed to, how to close one. Say you're on, and she gets into ley lines, underground water. And she says, say, like, especially where I live, I'm in a
yeah.
townhouse and have no control. So if I picked up that there was a portal or something, I could close it by using the dowsing rods, by using the copper and making it fixed. So yes, and we could do a whole show on portals actually if you wanted to,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's a lot.
And that's
It's
what
got,
Cindy Waghorn is saying. Is it the machines, the rides, and the energy created when running? And for sure
I
that
think.
that energy would the frequency would start running faster, right?
Yeah, so part of that theory with the portals and the places, or is the veil thinner in certain places between the physical and spiritual worlds? And then again, exactly what we just sort of were saying, this could be tied often to sacred or disturbed land, geomagnetic anomalies, cultural beliefs, or cultural beliefs in liminal spaces or places of transition, like parks where people escape reality, but also coming and going, right? All these people are bringing their energy in. I never even thought of it till just now, right? Bringing it in and going back home, bringing it back in. My son, I just said, at Canada's Wonderland, was like having the fit of all fits at about 3 years old. Where does that energy go? It's got to go somewhere, right? Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But
sorry.
I watched. I'm not gonna. You did. I'm gonna keep my hands off.
No, we're good.
I had watched a video about
because you said hi to Jody, and I'm
getting
sorry,
visions
Jody.
of Mickey Mouse and Fantasia.
You have Jody highlighted.
Hi, Jody.
Hi, Jody.
I don't know. My computer started.
Go ahead. I have a delay. We have a storm here, guys, so I apologize, and I apologize to you, Kerrilynn. I don't mean to speak over you. Was it Jody?
No, it's okay. My I didn't have anybody highlighted. I'm having some glitchy computer stuff happening too. So I thought I had clicked it, then I clicked it again. So I'm getting the same kind of stuff. We had weird weather today. We're having weird weather today too.
Yeah. We look pretty.
Well, pretty wasn't what we were going for. It's a
look. Okay, so Michelle Plummer. Hi, Michelle.
Not dead, darling.
Yes, she says, I'm getting visions of Hickey. I know you meant Mickey Mouse and Fantasia. Yeah. Get that wand out of his hands. Have you guys ever seen that Fantasia? That is creepy, weird. Creepy, weird.
Yeah.
So, let me see. Do you want me to get into like the examples from Lake Shawnee as well? Like about the burial ground?
Sure, or we can wait and we can talk about that.
Okay.
We can, because we're going to talk about it more too, right?
Yeah.
I know that I had watched a video about the theory that there are other powers at work that have created this space that we currently live in. And the amusement parks and these sorts of places were created like Monsters, Inc., that they draw energy from the fear and the screams, and they feed off of and try to keep like millions of people running through it. So I was like, we're like the living Monsters, Inc.
Oh, Michelle Wilfong says she has a bit of a lag here too. I got it. Yeah. We've had crazy stuff off and on kind of all day, right? Because we were talking to our friend who I know that when we talk about tomorrow and your show tomorrow and stuff, and we were having at least I was having laggy stuff. So I think it's just Joni mentioned that we're entering into a crazy time right now, and astrologically, Uranus, she said, and look out, hang on to your hat.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So the third theory, that's your theory. Do you want to start into your theory?
Sorry. So we have two more theories to go through. So the collective belief, So everyone's talked about, a little tidbit gets online, and then everybody is talking about it. Everybody's putting their belief into it. I'm not sure. It says tulpa. Like, I know there was a tulpa theory as well too, but I wasn't sure about that. So this theory suggests that the collective belief, storytelling, or pardon?
Oh, sorry. I just said neither was I about the tulpa theory. It just didn't feel tulpa-like. It almost felt more the difference between an egregore and I agree.
Yep, agreed. So collective belief. Focused thought can manifest paranormal phenomena, creating that thought form or amplifying activity through expectation. So, yeah.
Mhm.
The ghost stories that you get the TikTok story and it goes viral, but it may not have been much of anything until the collective energy gets put into it. And we talked about that last week with the Elisa Lam video from the Cecil Hotel. Like the collective thought is, I think, what created that to be what it was. So an example would be the Disney park. So 2009 Disneyland video footage of the ghostly figure went viral with the belief that it was in Walt Disney's Ghost or George at the Pirates of the Caribbean may have created self-fulfilling cycle where visitors expect and perceive hauntings.
We got Victoria, Astrolight Paranormal, and then we got Julie Jean Bassett here too. So we'll say hi.
Oh, hello, Victoria.
Ladies.
Yeah. Do you want to do a shout out for her?
Sure. So, you guys, if you're having problems with your little Monsters Inc. at home, your furry kind, scaly kind, feathered kind, Earth side or across the Rainbow Bridge, Julie is your person you want to reach out to. And I'm not paid to say that or anything. I'm sharing it from personal experience. She really has helped me a lot with a lot of my animals, as well as she can do mediumship with human beings as well as her side. She's an incredible shamanic practitioner, and I highly recommend her. Julie, one of these days I'm going to remember your new website, so please put it in the chat. Please, please. And thanks for that, Kerrilynn.
Mm-hmm. And we've both and have referred. So we've both used Julie's talents and skills and time and energy to help us with our fur babies with much success. So,
yes,
and friends. Okay, so our collective belief systems. We were talking about collective belief systems, and I would think too, like do you feel the more places are investigated, putting that energy into it as well too? Like we're expecting it, looking at it. So do we create it?
Well, like I said to you even earlier, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Or amplify it. Not even that we create it, but we feed into it.
Yes, because so when I first had all the paranormal, for example, not a haunted amusement park, but I was trying to find answers. I couldn't understand why this was happening. I was afraid. I always used to say if it could lift a 175-pound man, 180-pound man, and you can't see it, right? In the beginning, I used to feel that way. So, and I was looking for answers and just eventually started locally, province-wide, countrywide, and then started going to continents. It became a 20-hour-a-day job. Long explanation for the fact that the more I talked about it and the more I kept focusing on it, the more activity I had. And I had people that would be as experienced as we are, or I feel I'm much more experienced. And I was very angry because they would say to me, the more you do this, the worse it's going to get. And I used to get very angry about it, not recognizing, understanding where they were coming from now. So I agree with you 100%.
Okay, so another theory based on, or another potential theory for haunted amusement parks are the tragic history or restless spirits. So the tragic history attached to the land as well too. So Lake Shawnee, so the tragic history there built on Native American burial grounds. There was 13 skeletons. We are going to talk more about that too. The settler massacre, park deaths. So restless spirit theory, children that are believed to linger, cold spots, phantom laughter, apparitions being seen and reported of. At Disneyland, what was in Disneyland? I've never been. I have no desire.
Never been?
No.
You know what, though? It is really people-y. So if you can't handle people-y spots, but I got to tell you, I still remember as a kid going the first time, and I really felt like I had gone to a different world. Like it was
I get excited for other people.
Mhm.
Like I can feel other people's joy and get excited for them, but it would not be. I'm the quiet cemetery girl.
But you know what, though, like you with motion sickness and with a lot of people around, it's very expensive and majorly overly priced. I'm sorry, but it is for anybody. I love it. I haven't been in years. Where I want to go, and I sent you a picture, is the new Universal Park that opened. It has Pokemon World. It has How to Train Your Dragon, like all about dragons. Like I'm all about that, and Harry Potter. Like, so I was like, oh my goodness, yes, sign me up. You know what was cool though?
Well, what? Tom.
Was the guy that I saw at the Potter Collector. He's on YouTube. He got to go in when there was no people really there. So he got to enjoy it without a gazillion people, which was nice. Mm-hmm.
So did you know that people have asked, oh, that's fun, Victoria. So the cemetery, you and I can hang out at the cemeteries then.
I could go to a cemetery. I'd be great. I'd love it.
Everybody else go to the rides. But okay, when we're talking about Disneyland and restless spirit theory, I wouldn't think they were restless, so I didn't understand why it was lumped in there. But I was a little horrified to discover that people ask to be cremated after they pass and that their ashes spread at Disneyland. And many guests their ashes of loved ones inside the Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean rides, those places. And I know a friend of mine, she goes all the time. She loves it. It's her favorite place. Her and her family, and as adults, it's their favorite. Actually, I have 2 adult friends that are like that. They go all the time because it's their favorite place. Anyway, I had no idea that people scatter ashes. Isn't there like, why would you want to scatter your ashes at Disneyland? Where do you put them that they're not going to get sucked up by a vacuum or a broom or something and put in a garbage bin? Where do you put them?
Yeah, that's why I don't understand why they would allow it. But there's so many parklands, and it's not like going to Canada's Wonderland, Disney World. I've been to the one in Florida. I haven't been to the one Disneyland. I think it's California. But it's literally like going to a place 10 times the size of the Vatican. The only reason I mentioned the Vatican City, right? It's one of the world's smallest little countries within the country. It is so massive. So I couldn't understand why they would say yes, because I know this is going to sound disrespectful and I don't mean it that way, but cremains are a biohazard. So I would not understand why they would allow you to say, put it in the Haunted Mansion.
They probably don't even know that it's happening. So they're secretly doing it, I would think.
Then they probably are in a bin. They probably are in a bin somewhere then.
Oh, or tucked in somewhere. Would you tuck them in behind a rock somewhere?
I have my son right here. You know that, my son. I have him with me at all times because he always was. But I just couldn't imagine. Like, I guess if that was the happiest place you ever were, that was your wish, I guess. And, you know, the living left behind feel like they're going to fulfill the wishes, I guess. Like, I know the person I know.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I've known since day one. Even when I was just friends with them, they told me the day I'm no longer here, I've always wanted to be cremated. I want my ashes spread out on the lake where the family camp is. That I could understand, but I just couldn't understand why. And I'm not being judgmental because I think you were very practical. Like, it could get sucked up in a vacuum. Whatever.
I have told my kids forever that I want to be shot. I want to be cremated and shot off in a firecracker over Lake Superior. So like the Northern Shore. And so maybe I need to change and tell them that I need to be like Disney fireworks.
I want to be cremated.
Show.
I don't care where my ashes go. I don't need my body. I'm not using it anymore. So you know what? And this other thing I've told my family, and I hope it's not morbid for anybody, but I don't need my body anymore. And I believe we go on forever. So I've said to my family, do not spend money. Do the cheapest, most possible thing you can. Because why? And again, I'm not being judgmental, but to me, don't spend thousands of dollars. I don't need the body.
Or to be put somewhere like children and families are going, and I don't know. It's interesting though. Have you guys heard of that? Ashes
I've never
and
heard that
remains.
before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I read it on more than one site, so it was like a little crazy. I'm going to slip in and do our station ID before we get rolling because we have lots of videos to show. So we are going to talk about the history of Lake Shawnee because there's so much attached to it and the amount of videos. And we have a video for the Disney video as well too. So if you are just joining us now, thank you so much for being here. You are listening to Beneath the Hollow Moon with your hosts, Kerrilynn Shellhorn and Lorilei Potvin, and we are on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans, and 105.3 in the Gulf Coast. I always forget to say that.
Yeah.
Tonight we are talking about haunted amusement parks. So we were just going through some of the theories as to why this may happen. And the one that comes up pretty consistently through the searches was the Lake Shawnee.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I can play that when you're ready, because that one that I caught, that I found, it is about 5 minutes when we do play it. But we don't have to play the whole 5 minutes, but it does get into some of the history. We'd have to stop anyways in between a bit, but it does show some of the things that were unearthed. And we don't have to play the whole thing, but it definitely would give us a lot of history and things. I think I have other ones too. So let me go through here while you're talking.
Okay. So Lake Shawnee, Princeton, West Virginia, Lake Shawnee Amusement Park in Princeton, West Virginia, renowned for its tragic history and reputation. So the early history is the Clay family massacre in 1783. And I was struggling with some of the way that they phrased this, because there's a very big focus on the Clay family massacre, and it's such a colonial settler perspective because they don't actually tell you how many indigenous people were slaughtered when they took the land to begin with. So I just kind of felt like that needed to be said. So that's what I put. There's no numbers for loss of Native Americans during that takeover and settling of the land. But before the amusement park established, the land was the site of the conflict between the settlers and the Native Americans. In 1783, Mitchell Clay, one of the first European settlers in the area, experienced the attack of two of his children were killed, and then the third was captured and later burned at the stake, which is horrible.
Oh my goodness.
Horrible.
That's terrible.
Violent. Then in 1926, entrepreneur Conley T. Sniddow developed the land into an amusement park with a Ferris wheel, swing ride, swimming pool, all that kind of stuff. So in 1927, a young girl named Emmeline Schrader was killed when a delivery truck backed into the path of the swing she was on. In 1930s, a boy drowned in the swimming pool after his arm became caught in the drain pipe. That's horrific.
Oh, that's sad.
In 1961, a 6-year-old boy named Wayne drowned in the swimming pool. And in 1966, an 11-year-old boy named John also died connected to the pool's drain. That's a lot.
I couldn't believe that because I did find the shorter. Sorry, I have a real delay tonight, guys. I did find the shorter video clip from Lake Shawnee, not the 5-minute one, but I did. So just so you know that.
Okay. So in the 1980s, a former park employee, Gaylord White, purchased the property with the intentions to reopen it. And during renovations, workers uncovered numerous Native American artifacts, human remains, including the skeletons of 13 individuals, mostly children. So this discovery confirmed that the park was built on top of a Native burial ground. Of course it was. So there's reports of sightings in the girl in the pink dress with the swing, unexplained sounds, children's laughter, disembodied footsteps. It's been on all kinds of TV shows and ghost investigation shows. And they host events such as the Dark carnival during the Halloween season. So
Oh,
whatever
wow.
videos, I know.
Ew, creepy. So I'm just pulling him up. So hopefully my stuff doesn't slow down too much because I have a bunch of clips. Now there is a video out there on YouTube that you can find. I got 2 for Lake Shawnee, by the way. I thought I did. I had so many. So there is a video under the History channel. If you look it up, if you look up the history or paranormal on Lake Shawnee, because it is over 5 minutes, but it's a quick video. I play everything at 2 times the speed, though. I forgot about that too. 5 minutes is a long time, but it's narrated by, I believe, William Shatner, and it gets into speaking to some of the different owners. But I guess they were renovating the new owners, and they found human bone remains. So they called in somebody to do the dig, and that's how they found the skeletons and everything too. So
Yeah. And I thought there is a story attached to another vehicle and death. So, and I was trying to find that clip, and I couldn't. I actually think it's attached to Black T-shirt dude.
So who's the Black T-shirt dude? Because I did not run across. Like, we do our own research and we share stuff, and just depends what day, right? And then we always connect and talk about it. So who is Black T-shirt dude? I don't know.
T-shirt. From Ghost Adventures.
Oh, so sorry, because I always refer to him as Mr. Tight T-shirt wearing Mr.
Tight T-shirt dude.
T-shirt dude. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Come up with a better name for him. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, and I you know what, I always say that in this world that we play in, we navigate in with the paranormal, that there's so much skepticism. And when we have people, and I'm not calling anybody out in particular, but especially with AI, it's so hard. So when somebody really does stuff that they really try to be authentic and truthful, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of respect. So Mr. Tight T-shirt wearing, and there's been videos, I'm not calling them out, I'm not saying they're not experiencing stuff, but I've seen some videos where it's actually the editing caught a few things. Miss Annabelle, we talked about.
I still appreciate that they've brought it to the forefront. They create the conversations and it's there, but we don't always agree about who we feel in alignment with and how things are done. But yeah. So do you want to set up our video?
Yes. So let's set up. I have a whole bunch here. Let me go through them. They're just short reels. We've got Disneyland, Ghost Caught on Camera, Disneyland, another one. And then we have Haunted History of Lake Shawnee. Do you want me to play that one first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this one's just a reel, so hopefully it will behave itself because it's not that big. I'll have to make it big. Yeah, just give me a sec here. Oh, you're so welcome, Julie Jean. We got a couple new people I waved at while you were reading. I didn't know if you maybe, I'm setting it up, if you maybe want to. I think was there a Karen? I don't want to say the wrong name.
Oh, Karen Sloot. Hello.
Yes. So where are we? Where did you go? Good Lord. I hate when it does that. It just pulls it up first. Where are you? There we go. I think I can make it bigger. Give me a sec, guys. I can. So, this is in the different spot. Everything, the reels versus.
Fun-filled paradise for locals, this theme park hides a chilling past. Imagine riding the swings, only to find out a girl tragically died there in 1927 after being hit by a truck. Or the boy who drowned in the swimming pool just 3 years later. And let's not forget the 3-year-old killed by a loading truck. But that's not all. The park was built on an ancient Native American burial ground. In the 1990s, construction crews uncovered artifacts and skeletons of children and elders. Spooky, right? Many swear the park is haunted. Swings moving on their own, ghostly figures appearing out of nowhere. Some even say they've seen someone on the swings, someone invisible to others. Lake Shawnee closed in 1967 after a failed health inspection. But its eerie secrets live on. Dare to visit? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more chilling.
So that was kind of a quick synopsis, I thought. What did you think?
Yeah, I know that everyone that I know, personally know, that has said it is like one of their favorite places to go to. It's the vibe of it is just different. And I think, or I feel, that's how I want to phrase it. I feel it would be attached to the history of the land that would make you feel those things.
I have one more. That's quick. Do you want me to do that one too? One more for Lake Shawnee?
Yeah, whatever you feel like playing. I haven't seen any of them, so it's new for me too.
Yeah,
and I'm up for seeing all of it.
You said just you go ahead and bring them. So hang on. Okay. Oh, I got buttons everywhere here. Hang on, load up. Okay. So this one, if it's called Shadow Figure at the Terrifying Lake Shawnee. So at first I kind of went, dude, what are you seeing? So it's not too bad actually. So let's see, we'll get the volume going. We'll play.
We really didn't get to hear anything about the Ferris wheel from Chris during our interview. However, during the tour, he did tell us a story about some investigators coming there and taking a photo, and they captured a full shadow figure of a person in bucket number 10. Chris told us about someone in bucket number 10. I'm going to take some photos.
I can't make it bigger. So this looks like, hang on, I have to pause it. But it's hard to see because it's dark, you guys, but if you can pull that back up, take a look at it. If you look up paranormal activity caught at Lake Shawnee Amusement Park, it'll come up in the reels and you'll get to see it because I definitely could see something. I know it's small. It wouldn't make it any bigger, I think, because it's a reel. But they caught it.
Right. And I think that some of the stories I've read is feeling like there's a little person holding your hand or touching you or up beside you as well too. So
can you share anything that maybe the people that you know, like Grant, and please forgive me the other lady's name, do they have any specific stories? Yeah, Lisa. Or was it just
I haven't not spoke to Lisa. I haven't spoke to it. I just saw her social media posts about it and how excited she was. So with Grant, he just said it's one of his top places that he would go back again, that how much he loved it. And it was attached to the vibe that they were feeling there. Not necessarily that it was a lot of evidence captures, but it was the vibe of it.
Oh, how cool. Cool. So those are the two. Like I said, I have a third one, but we would take up valuable time here because it's over 5 minutes long. And it's interesting because it talks to, and you explained to me actually why. So they have a voiceover with, it sounds like William Shatner, and they get into the history of where it came from. And then there's an elderly, I don't want to say elderly, an older lady that is talking, and it says former or owner. And she's explaining her husband wanted to buy the park because he loved going to Lake Shawnee as a kid. But then a gentleman seems to come on and it says owner of Lake Shawnee. And I forget why you said it might be. They're not necessarily married, but are they related, the owners that were talking on the video?
I don't know.
I thought you had said maybe it was a son-in-law or something with Lake Shawnee, that might be why. I remember we talked about so much because it just like they were both owners, and she was talking about her husband and why they wanted to revamp the park and bring back the days of old that he remembered at Lake Shawnee as a child. And yet the only gentleman that appeared on the clip was a guy that looked like his late, probably early 40s. And with no disrespect, she looked like she could possibly be in her 70s, like later 70s. So maybe I read it, but I thought
I think read it because I don't remember. But I mean, I have been very tired this week.
never mind. Like, you guys, you will not believe the information on this. We didn't even bring up Gulliver's Kingdom because that was kind of, we were going to go there too, right?
Yes. And we still have to so Disneyland in Anaheim, California. So it has a whole bunch. We have a video.
Okay,
So it has my son. I know. I thought that there was another truck there that was attached to another death. And so they keep it there and have had some paranormal experiences with a vehicle, but I can't verify that.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I have such a delay tonight. So weather. As soon as I saw it when I got home, I ran out was going to get a balloon. We had all these great ideas. We were going to get balloons, and I found out the store I went to doesn't do helium balloons anymore. So I got the pinwheel. Got home, and it was pouring rain. It was beautiful when it came out. So I thought, it's going to be fun tonight with the connection. So I have 2 short reels with Disneyland. Or you want to talk a little bit about it, or?
Yeah. So Disneyland has its share of ghost stories. Cast member sweeping the Roger Rabbit ride area saw a man standing nearby. When he looked again, the man disappeared. Staff working late have reported hearing children laughing in empty areas like Fantasyland and New Orleans Square. One employee reported being touched by an unseen presence while working near the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. The Pirates of the Caribbean ride has lots of stories attached to it, like repeated experiences attached to the Pirates of the Caribbean, which I loved. I loved that whole, all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. A woman once rode the Haunted Mansion at midnight and saw other full doom buggies occupied, only to find them empty at the end of the ride.
There's all kinds. There has been people caught in the windows. Maybe the Haunted Mansion. It wasn't there the last time I went. I went there before its time. But there's one, like the clips that I have, the 5 scariest things caught on Disney, in Disney. Like, there's just it's got the last clip has got supposedly Walt Disney caught on a security camera walking around, but there's another clip on there. It's a maintenance technician, and he's on one of the rides, but it looks like he's almost in a movie theater, and what shows up on camera behind him, and then it's almost like it kicks his seat. Like if you're on an airplane, you have a little kick in your seat, and he jerks. Like, you can see this, and this is before AI. There's so much. So Heidi says, go ahead.
Go ahead and read it. No, go ahead.
Okay, she says, I don't remember what show. Maybe Katrina Wiseman had looked deeper into the native connection. It's notorious, though, and I know this for a fact, that wherever you go, and I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on this, but without fail, if it's discovered that there has been a First Nations Indigenous burial ground, or this was land where they lived, or there was warring factions in particular, usually you will see some unusual stuff, I find anyways. Even where I live, there was on Thunder Bay, never mind we're on Lake Superior, there's quite a bit of history about the wars and what was going on between the Cree and the Ojibwe clans, if you will. And then on top of that, there's a strong history back to England with the Hudson's Bay Company and all this over here, right? Like, what's your thoughts? Do you find that too, Kerrilynn, that there's a First Nations history?
Oh, yeah. And the settler culture that takes over that, and the effects of that, for sure.
You're right, Heidi. Go ahead, Kerrilynn. You were going to say something. I know you were, so.
Oh, that's okay. I was going to go sideways. Heidi is sharing. I absolutely believe that here. Is it? Do you say Ute?
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure either.
Tribe were treated awful. Well, they all were.
They
were all treated awful. Niagara would qualify. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the amusement parks are near water, or bodies of water as well too. And water is also a conductor.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Very
Plus,
big conductor.
we don't know what's underneath the ground. And I know, like, that's why I pulled out that book with Marie Diamond, because she gets into her own personal story. I think you can find some of those videos still on YouTube if you look it up. Diamond Dowsing Free, Marie Diamond. And she tells her own personal story because she is from Belgium. And I think she married an American. And so she said it was very natural over there to call in the local dowser if you're having problems or issues. Not so much over here. Mm-hmm. You going to read Michelle's?
That was my great grandpa, though. But
what was that?
Michelle Plummer is saying. So we're talking about my great grandpa was a dowser. So he would do it for people and meetings and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we were talking about, she was commenting about Niagara. So Michelle is sharing that place is a total melting pot of amusement, themes, and historical battles. You're right. Everywhere from Niagara Falls to Niagara on the Lake is haunted. Like the cemeteries walking around, the restaurants everywhere is.
And it's such haunted. A beautiful area too. It really is beautiful. Mm-hmm. At least my experience have been that it's very beautiful in that area as well. Mm-hmm.
It is.
So, let's see. We got lots of comments.
I don't know if you want to call up Heidi.
Yeah. So Heidi says the lies that have been told for decades intensifies the energy, I believe, too. I agree the conductors that contribute, because I've tried to explain this to people around the world that may not have the same type of First Nations Indigenous histories that I have found and heard throughout North America. And I'm just going to say it with no judgment, but they have been treated horrifically here in North America. I know I can speak for where I live, and it's not right.
And continue to.
Yes, that's where I was trying to say. Continue. Mm-hmm. Yes, and you experienced it very much so when you were here, when you came last October. And,
witnessed it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it's hard to picture. And I know there's that history in the United States as well. But it seems to be a little different, and thankfully so. But other people instead, I've noticed a lot of similarities between how our First Nations people, there are people that don't even have running water. Like I'm talking for 20 years up on a reserve up north, 20 years, you got to wait for water to get delivered. So I know that's not where we're going with the show. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off track, but
that's okay. We have a platform that can be used, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So what did Sherry, I haven't got my glasses on. What did Sherry say, Carrie, then?
Sherry Madigan. Hello, Sherry. Thanks for being here. She is sharing, I saw a program that said a lot of the props, etc., in Disney's The Haunted Mansion were antiques items. It may contribute to the happenings in the mansion. And there's lots of stories about the Haunted Mansion being literally haunted.
Wow. That would make a lot of sense, wouldn't it? Definitely. So, but there is a lot of, because there's Disney parks all around the world now. So, and depending on where they are, I don't know how much information we might get, because is there a Disney, or they're planning on building one, I think, in China, are they not?
I don't know.
They are, yeah. So it just depends, and they all have a different theme and flavor. Say the one over, I think it's in France or around that area, versus say the US. And
So we have some listeners. So we have some questions for the chat, for the people in the chat. Do you want to do a couple of those, or do you want to play the Disney video?
Up to you. You go for it, girl. Whatever you
Well,
want to do.
we were talking about Disney, so why don't we watch the Disney video?
Okay, I've got 2. And then if we have
that's
time,
cool. Let's watch both.
because the 2 are very short, they're reels. The last one, it's top 5, and we don't have to listen to everything. You can just see the activity getting caught. So if we have time, we'll play that, because we got, like I said, we got lots for you guys. We didn't even get into the creep factor, because we did look at it about Gulliver's Kingdom over in Japan.
We can do that if you want.
Well, we'll see. Let's just see. If not, we can always come back. Always come back. So give me a second as I set her up here. Present. Always like when it is, usually you never know what it's going to do, because sometimes it will say add to the stage, and then other times it'll do exactly what it's doing tonight, right? It's already on there. Yep, it's already up there. So the only thing with the reels, they're not as big, guys. I apologize even when I try and make them bigger here. Okay, that says ghost caught on camera. Let me get I appreciate that it mutes it.
Single rider, a red-headed man will sit next to you. He often strikes up a conversation, but as it goes on, you'll know.
Sorry, I know why it just.
People say Disneyland is haunted by a man they call Mr. One Way. The legend goes that if you go on Space Mountain as a single rider, a red-headed man will sit next to you. He often strikes up a conversation, but as it goes on, you'll notice some red flags. It will seem as though he's talking about Disneyland as if he was there in the 70s, without having any knowledge of the new rides. Being confused, your ride vehicle takes off in the dark, but once you reach the tunnel at the end of the ride, where your photo was taken, he is no longer sitting next to you. People say Disneyland is haunted by a man they call Mr. One Way. The legend goes that if you go on Space Mountain as a single...
Okay, it's hard to see, and I had to watch that actually a few times. But if you've got a closer view, you actually see a transparent movement of what looks like a human being sitting in that empty seat on that clip. Mm-hmm. So
Okay,
that
we're watching it again. You
want me to watch it again? Want me to put it up one more time? Okay, and then I got another one for you. And like I say, if we have time, the other one has the really good stuff caught on it. So let me bring her right back to the beginning. Okay, let's see. Okay, so you're going to see the red arrow on the left. I wish I could make it bigger, guys. It's the way that the reel is, because I've already made it as big as I can. I tried to even stretch it out, and it went to the next reel. So give me a sec.
People say Disneyland is haunted by a man they call Mr. One Way. The legend goes that if you go on...
Do you see him?
Yeah, I saw it that time.
I'll play it one more time for you guys, because the rest is just the story repeating. You can't see it. So you can be watching where the red arrow is. Too bad I couldn't slow it down. Maybe I can. Give me one sec. Playback speed. I don't see it. Sorry, guys. I would have loved to have done that for you, but hang on. So watch on the left-hand side.
People say Disneyland is haunted by a man they call Mr. One Way. The legend goes that if you go on Space Mountain as a single rider, a red-headed man will sit next to you. He often strikes...
So there's quite a bit about this gentleman too, but I didn't find, unless you did, Kerrilynn, any correlation to the fact that why he's on this particular ride. Oh, so Sandy Cordick. Hi, Sandy. She says she saw him. Good. I'm glad you
did. Happy belated birthday, Sam. I'm sorry that I missed you. Please know that I always hold you in my heart and thoughts, and I'm wishing you a happy belated birthday.
That's Sam? You said Sam or Sandy?
Sandy. Okay. Yes.
Happy birthday, Sandy. Happy birthday.
Yes.
So now I have one more if you want me to play that one too. Again, quick videos, like they're not long. Okay. So give me one sec. I could leave this on, but this way, like I have a ton of tabs open because they're all reels.
How would you feel about that though? Like, well, one, I wouldn't want to sit with an empty seat and then have a stranger sitting beside me on a ride to begin with.
No, and the thing is, though, did the people see it, right? They're saying he has red hair, but it looked like the person that the empty seat was didn't seem to notice the spectral figure. It almost looks like it was caught on camera. What do you think?
Well, they're saying that the spectral figure talks to people. So they're having conversations, right? And then they're gone. It's gone by the time you're done the ride. And that would it would wake me out having the stranger talk to me for the whole ride, or at the beginning of the ride anyway.
So Sandy says her nickname is Sam. Oh, that's why I heard it. And then Sandy says, and it says he talks to you. Yeah. I just meant from that particular clip, right? And again, we could replay
Is
it.
it the same guy at the end? Is it the same guy at the end where he's like this pointing at the empty seat?
No.
Because he's pointing at the empty seat at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different clip.
I think it was a different clip. Like it was looked like they took a clip from a security camera. That's why they aired. I think it probably was from News Top 5 or Slapped Ham or something. And then you know how they put all that B-roll in there? It looks like he spliced a bunch of different clips all together. So this one was different. Oh, we still do. Oh, we got it up. I pulled it down. Give me a sec while we were talking. Oh, sorry, hit the wrong button again, guys. Me and my wonderful handy dandy hands here. So this is Haunted Disney Theme Park, Reno, Mexico. And this is in Mexico. I didn't know they had a Disney theme park in Mexico. Did you? Like, I don't think it's connected to Disney, but that's the way it's put up here. And this is supposed to be Snow White, okay? I don't know if this is real or not. It looks old to me. I don't think this was new. You guys see what you think. Either way, I thought it was creepy.
At you doing this. A man named Alan Mora went to explore the Reino Mágico Disney theme park located in Veracruz, Mexico. Due to multiple life-taking incidents, the place was abandoned a few years after its opening in 1988, leaving the park to become a desolate land. As Alan is making his way through the haunted location, they spot a Snow White statue, and as he begins to focus on it, this happens.
Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, deja que mi cámara enfoque bien. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey, eso no es el velador. No digas perras mamadas, güey. No digas perras mamadas, güey. Perdón.
The statue begins to move on its own, but as they get closer, it's seen on a different location, frozen in place. He was exploring a haunted park when he captures a statue
one more time.
doing this. A man named Alan Mora went to explore the Reino Mágico Disney theme park located in Veracruz, Mexico. Due to multiple life-taking incidents, the place was abandoned a few years after its opening in 1988, leaving the park to become a desolate land. As Alan is making his way through the haunted location, they spot a Snow White statue, and as he begins to focus on it, this happens.
Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, deja que mi cámara enfoque bien. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey, eso no es el velador. No digas perras mamadas, güey. No digas perras mamadas.
So my question, and I can still continue to play it, was that does not look like the same statue as when it seems they pan to it. So I think it may be a hoax, but the reason why I showed it is because I have heard that story over and over from this theme park from other people, because I don't think it's a real Disney park. I think it was themed. You can tell from the creepiness of the abandoned, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I showed it. So if you guys, it resonates, or you want to find more. So you felt the same way. That looks like it was like a girl walking along in a dress, and then. Mm-hmm. So, but there are other.
I mean, it looked like there was a leg underneath my skirt, but it is a creepy video, and and I don't know. I still like watching the ones that are fake sometimes too, because you just get sucked into it, and then you laugh after. I don't mind watching the ones that are fake sometimes. So
I think it helps us debunk, but also there is stories from this park. Like, he wasn't the only one. I've heard them over the years of people, and it's this particular Snow White figure. I have a feeling he's building off of what's been out there. So that's why I shared it.
And even if someone was to say it's a reenactment of an oral story that they've heard before, or a folklore story, and they do a reenactment of it, and I know that there is a former show that was on mainstream television that did that a couple of times, did a reenactment, but posed it as an in-the-moment capture. So you do what you need to do for the hooks, clicks, and likes, right?
So this video, the Disneyland Ghosts, if we have the time. It's 4
Yeah.
minutes and 18 seconds. We would probably have to stop it in the middle just for copyright
Fine.
issues, fair use. Well, if you want to, because it's, we didn't have a story this week unless we got one at the last minute, did we? You wanted to ask some questions.
No,
You said
we've got. Yeah, no, we can. Well, I mean, some of those. I've been waiting for the Disney dude.
all right, we're gonna show it,
See
guys.
the Disney dude.
Okay, we're going to show it then. I just wanted to make sure, that's all. Okay, share screen. I got rid of, hopefully, the commercial. So if somebody heard like musical, like a jewelry box, no, for one reason now, this one didn't show up muted. So if you heard that, that was the video. Okay, let's make it big.
Would you guys, for folks in the chat or for folks listening, if you knew that there was haunted history attached to an amusement park like Canada's Wonderland or Disney, would you be more inclined to visit if you knew that there was haunted history, or would you avoid it if you knew that there was haunted history? You guys can, I just thought I'd ask the question while you were getting it prepped.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. And the other one I had too was we've got people listening from all over the world here. And where you live, have you heard about an amusement park either near you, in your country, that there's been activity? Have you heard it? I think that's such a great question. So Sandy or Sandy Kordick answered, I'd go. What about you?
I'd go.
Hi, Lisa Martin.
I would go, but I won't. Riding bicycle while listening. That's awesome. See, Heather, I agree. 2 people for me either way, but I would go if it was after hours or nobody else so I could just experience it. But then if the hauntings are happening when everybody's there, and if it's triggered by all that energy, do you need the people there? Agreed, Heidi.
Yeah. She said, I think there are spirits around everywhere 24/7. And I know over the years, I've done shows on this about the fact that people think it's always 3 a.m. somewhere, right? So you're right. And people tend to get a sense of security, and you're too busy to notice things when it's super dark and it's quiet and the creak of everything you can hear. Hi, Mort Ali. I would go. I don't know if I'd go by myself, but like if you were going or I was going out with a team, but I will be very honest, not that I'd lie anyways, but I'd be very honest with the fact that I am not affected by places being too people-y. I can get affected. I've realized if I'm with a big, huge group of people for too long, and I discovered this when I went away on a so-called retreat years ago with a Facebook group I used to be involved with sort of more spiritual type stuff. And I couldn't figure out why I felt so off. And I was picking up all this stuff that was irritation and just anger and then grumpiness and big highs and low. And then I realized it wasn't mine. And because I tend to not think about how much time I actually do spend on my own. And it's when I go out, I notice, right? But my eldest son is like that. Like when we go out shopping, ever since he's been little, every now and then, and he gets a bit irritated. So when he was younger, I used to say, honey, what's wrong? Oh, right, too people-y. And we'd have to leave, right? Or he'll wait in the car. Like we went shopping a week ago together, and he waited in the car. So I certainly have a lot of empathy for people because you're very sensitive, right? And it's just too much.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm.
And everybody's people, they have people. I'm just trying to Lisa riding bicycle. Lisa, I'm not seeing the comment. Lisa is sharing. I made a comment earlier with regards to spreading ashes of loved ones, and I guess it wasn't allowed. I'm not seeing it, Heidi. I don't know, Lorilei, do you see it somewhere?
I don't. And so, Lisa, were you on Facebook?
I haven't saw it because
that's been the problem with Facebook. I've been noticing
or
this.
Instagram,
I don't know what Instagram's doing. The last 2 weeks, it's told me it's not playing. I'm going to have to do some research and see what they're doing. It's saying it's not playing, so the live's not coming up. Yet when I check the button, it says we are live on Instagram, so go figure. So I can't see anything. So I think it's Facebook, because I noticed that even on the Monday night show, the Angel Rock 2, there'll be people and other people be saying hi to them on Facebook, and I don't see them. So I apologize, both of us, on your behalf, Lisa. If you want to share the comment that you did about the ashes, we'd be happy to read it again. Or read it.
I'm scrolling around trying to find it, but I don't see it.
No.
So it's not there. So maybe YouTube is the one that dealt with it. I don't know, but we didn't. Just so you know.
Okay, depending what
did I say a word that was inappropriate?
I don't think it was inappropriate. I think what it is, depending. So Heidi, you're saying you and Lisa are on YouTube. Are you on the same YouTube channel? Because if you're not, you won't see each other's comments even on YouTube. But I noticed that's been a problem with Facebook lately. And it says can't post comments in producer for us to some destinations, learn more. And so when I click the learn more button, okay, you guys are on the same channel. So maybe YouTube blocked. I don't understand why they would, but
we've got some weird stuff happening. Veil's thin.
No, we've had weird stuff all night. Yeah, right.
And even it'll be interesting to see if maybe you didn't hit the send button. I don't know. But if you would like to share again, we're open for the conversation. I just wanted to acknowledge that, I didn't see it, and I did make an effort to go back and try to find it for you.
But we were doing that for each other. So when I was sharing what I was sharing, I know you were managing and I was doing the same. So I didn't see it either. Heidi said she didn't see it, and they're on the same channel. So,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Last week, we potentially caught a grouse. So Z-Sun Dragon, our friend Kevin from East Coast Canada, he watched the replay and caught a grouse. So maybe we need to put a reel together of all of the anomalies that happen during our shows for folks. So because we do seem to catch a bunch. And it'll be interesting to see if anything happens. I was really hoping like a giggle would happen, or like a big orb or something.
I didn't say it to you, but at the beginning of the show, because we started talking about something else, I think it was about 15 or 20 minutes in, I actually heard a whispered, hi. And I meant to say it. I swear to God to you, I did. And I was going to say something, but we were right in the middle of, I think you were sharing your info, and I didn't want to interrupt. And then I think I got pulled away with a comment, but I tried to make a mental note. I think it was between 10 and 15 minutes, because I was going to say to you, did you hear it? So
was I breathing funny or something? If we got a high, that's brilliant.
That's what it sounded like. And I meant to say something, and with my squirrel brain in between watching the comments, so I made a mental note to check. I'm positive it's about the 10 to 12 minute mark. So if anybody's watching the replay, because some people do, like Michelle, maybe I'll try and hit Mish up, because she just popped in and she said she's going to watch the rest of it. So maybe I'll hit Mish up and say, did you catch anything? Or anybody else that's on the replay. Feel free to let us know. So I have the video.
I'm loving it. Yeah, sorry.
It's okay. And I meant to say it. Like I said, I got squirrel brain. That's what it was. Okay, let's see.
5 Disneyland ghosts caught on camera.
Small, sorry, guys.
This one was spotted at the Tower of
This
Terror.
is the one I've been talking about.
It seems to show a ghost sitting behind the guy, and then shortly after, a few seats to his right. This all happened during a routine maintenance inspection, and some say it's just trickery of the lights. Either way, whatever is sitting behind him definitely looks very sinister.
Reservation has been made in your name for an extended stay. Wave goodbye to the real world.
Let's see if he'll replay it. Watch it. You got to watch quick. There's the guy's face behind him. There's another guy beside him.
A tourist was recording one of Disneyland's fireworks shows. She shot.
Were you able to see them, everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Wait, it gets better. It gets better. Some are not as good as others, but hang on. This is number 4.
Got the footage but didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. When she got home and reviewed the footage, she noticed a figure standing on top of the castle that seemed to be watching the fireworks. The figure is dressed in all grey, but some people say it's just a maintenance guy enjoying the show.
That guy right there.
Here we see a few people getting their pictures taken with some villains. The camera moves past them and up to the top of the rocks. As it's moving past them, you can kind of make out a ghostly man sitting down and watching. Skeptics say this is just the rock formation and low light, but others think this is the ghost of someone who died in the park.
Thank goodness he goes back and slows it down.
This ghost was captured on the Space Mountain.
What's that? What's that? That one, I
Could it
felt
be-
exactly the same way. Like, kind of, really? I don't know. Okay, so we got number 2 and then the last one. Now, I have seen it slower to be able to really look at the number 1 clip. We're going to number 2 right now. Like I said, it's not that long. Instead of our story tonight, we're having a different type of story hour. So hang on. Okay, this is the one we just saw. So I have another, I think it is. So I have another peek again.
Ride. It walks in from the left and takes a seat. This spirit is quite well known and it's said to be called Mr. One Way. Mr. One Way is sometimes spotted waiting in line for some of the attractions, but mostly on the Space Mountain ride.
You can watch again.
That's weird.
I know. And just one seat open.
This ghost was captured on Disneyland's
Okay,
CCTV,
pause it.
and some people believe it.
This is the one, and this has been out for quite a few years. Okay. And there are other channels. He doesn't do a great job of isolating it, but you can look this up and it's been out for a long time. After Hours in the Park. Are you ready? Number 1. See, it wasn't that long.
To be the ghost of Walt Disney himself. What's interesting is that it was captured on multiple cameras, and this entity is in sync on all of them. There's been quite a lot of theories to debunk this one. The main one is that it's just reflections of light. Take a look and let me know what you think.
That's one camera view. Another camera view.
Oh.
There's better clips of this. Much better, clearer. I don't know if maybe somebody's tried to change the lighting with the clips I've seen, but it's much clearer. Like he literally looks like he's wearing a suit. This is about 3 a.m., but the fact that it's caught on multiple cameras, and I've seen clips of it before, and it's slowed down.
And that brings this list to an end. I jolly well hope you liked it, and as always...
So, that's just a few.
I jolly well did.
I jolly well did too. We could have done a whole night of just ghosties. Like I said, you guys, we even looked into Gulliver, and I'd never heard of Gulliver's Kingdom. I'd forgotten about it till you had mentioned it. That's creepy too.
I don't know much about it. Thank you for sharing again, Lisa.
Thank you,
She's just sharing. I was just saying spreading ashes of loved ones is a thing. That I knew was a thing. I just didn't think it was a thing at Disneyland.
At Disneyland.
My late husband's ashes are well-traveled local waterways, hiking trails, golf courses, Cuba, Sedona, Scottsdale, Arizona, and Dominican Republic.
I love that.
I do too. Heidi is sharing my mom's ashes are in the Ocean Bay in Seattle. She has a mini urn as well too. And yeah, that's wild. So the walking Walt Disney, potential Walt Disney ghost.
Yeah. So do we want to? You want to talk about how they can send us stories because we need stories. Guys.
Oh yeah. Alrighty, folks. So got a story that gives you chills, a strange encounter you can't explain. We want to hear it. Send us your true tales of the weird, the haunted, and the unexplainable. Your story could be the next one we share. Submit your story to Kerrilynn's Porch, KERRILYNNS porch @gmail.com. And send them in. We would love to share. And you do not have to give us your name if you want us to share anonymously. We are most certainly can do that. But we would love to hear your ghost stories. So bring them on so we can share.
But it doesn't have to be theme related. Like, for example, say someone sent us a story in for this week. It doesn't have to be related to haunted amusement parks. Say you've got pictures or you've caught something, but you're not sure what it is and you want to chat about it. We'd love to hear about it, right? Or share it with everybody.
Yes, we do, Heidi. We would love to hear about more odd experiences from you, for sure. Yes. Whatever you got, we've got it.
We do.
So another question, amusement parks. So do you think, emotional roller coasters, literally, right? Yeah. So screams, cries, fear, do you think that gets trapped in the air? Those emotions, the energy frequencies, does it get trapped in the air? Does it replay? Open a door, portal? What do you guys think?
Yeah, let's hear.
Yes, look at us, latest tonight.
I highlighted Connie. Because Connie, before you popped in, I was just saying, hopefully maybe there'll be somebody that will be doing the rewatch because me and my squirrel brain, about 10 to 15 minutes in, I think I heard something, a whisper saying, well, I might as well say, I don't know if I should say it or not. Should I say it? I guess.
No, but don't say it.
Okay.
But yeah, don't say what it is.
I didn't think so either. I thought I heard, please don't be like focusing because it could have just been on my end. We've had a lot of glitchy tech stuff, but if you do hear it, let us know because I got pulled away with my squirrel brain and I meant to say something and forgot till like 5-10 minutes ago. Sorry. What's our answers? Have people shared their answers to your question? There's Heidi.
Heidi is sharing the emotional energies. Yes. And the layers of it, right?
So Mish said, I'm not, last year's Paracon at the hotel, was she talking? I'm not sure what she was sharing about that. It's right towards the end. So I'm not sure what she was sharing. Oops. So, but.
Well, in the room where I was at the Paracon, you were beside me. At the Paracon in the room that we were in.
Oh gosh.
Where my table was by the door. I couldn't handle it. I was so sick. And it was like motion sickness for me and it just progressed. It was like being on a boat. Whatever that energy or frequency was in that space was horrible for me. And at one point, I thought I was going to pass out. The security guy stopped me when I was going to go on the elevator. And he's like, are you okay? You look like you're going to pass out. And I'm like, I am. I'm going to go upstairs to my room to do it. Right?
I didn't feel it when you did. And I've never felt something like that before. We both picked up that it was male. Not good. But all of a sudden, it really literally felt like your feet were planted and the room was just going zoom, 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 zoom. I've never
Oh,
felt.
yes, Michelle. I'm so sorry. Michelle has this story to
Ooh,
share about, so she's going to
yes,
send it in for
Michelle.
us. Thank
You
you.
know, I've said to Kerrilynn, so grateful that this Paracon is being held by Lucky Paranormal, and please let people know where to buy the tickets in just one sec. But the one thing I'm disappointed is because it's so short. Everybody that comes only gets to see not really great areas of the city, and there's so much to see here, but there's definitely paranormal.
Yeah, it's 2 days this year. So it's going to be run over 2 full days,
Okay, so
which
how
will
do
be
people get
brilliant.
tickets and when, Kerrilynn?
LakeSuperiorParacon.com, Lucky Paranormal on social media. You can reach out to them, but Lake Superior Paracon. All kinds of the Beyond the Haunting ladies are going to be back. Snipe, Ghost Hunters on the Grand. Me
Love
too.
them.
Jason Kenzie, Rick Mike Secker, myself. I'm trying to think. I apologize for anybody. Oh, Duluth Ghost Tours.
Nice.
There's a great lineup. So please check them out. I'll be doing a gallery reading as well too. So, and I like this year. So when I did the gallery reading last year, it was separate. And this year it's going to be during the day at the hotel, you know, during the same time period. So that'll be good. I'm excited about that.
So before we close, please stay tuned because the second night of the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche is coming up next. Because this just went by so quick. You want to tease them what's coming up, or you want me to?
You can.
Okay.
You can if you
like. I hope you guys are going to like this, and I think you will, because next week, because it's close to a full moon coming up, isn't it? That's why we chose this. Is it not?
Yes. So the full moon is on the 11th, and our show is on the 12th.
Yes. So next week, Kerrilynn and I chose, we are going to be talking about moon magic and rituals, sharing our favorite full moon rituals and magic spells and little recipes and DIYs. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I hope you're going to join us. And Kerrilynn Iadarola is actually on with Michelle tonight. She's a host on our network. She does the show before us, and my mind Ethereal Encounters Unveiled, and she's absolutely lovely. So apparently they're doing the show right up after us right now next. So stay tuned.
That's brilliant.
So, I hope you guys will tune in.
So they can your show on Mondays?
Oh yes, the Angel Rock Monday night, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a new guest coming on. I think it's Carol Oakley. She's been on before, but we're going to be talking about angel stuff. She's written a brand new book. I'm positive it's Carol Oakley. So 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And who's coming up on your show tomorrow? I can't wait.
So tomorrow night, I have Azria Beckham coming on Spirit Switchboard at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And we are going to be talking about cosmic lineage and alien DNA. Extraterrestrial DNA? What's the right form? What do I say?
Well, when I was trying to explain it as off-world DNA lineage, but it's not physical, she said, just call it alien DNA. She told me one day when I was talking to her. So
alien DNA, folks, and your mind is going to be blown. And I've got a couple of my own stories to add into that as well, too. And mermaid stuff may come up. It's going to be fascinating. So I hope you guys all tune in tomorrow. So thank you, everybody, for being here in the chat. We appreciate all of you so very much. We hope you join us next week for Moon Magic and Rituals. Thank you so much to Joe Montaldo and Michelle DeRoche and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network and the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 in the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans. We hope that you guys have a great week, and we'll see you back here next week at 7 p.m. Eastern.
Don't Follow the whispers. Right?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't worry about
You
it.
went. You're right. Thanks for joining us beneath the hollow moon. Until next week, step back into the shadows, and whatever you do,
Wait till you see. We haven't talked about next week's costumes. Everybody's talking about them. So thank you for this, guys. We'll see you next week. And don't forget, tune in tomorrow. Love Azria. I'm going to be hanging out in the chat too. Can't wait for the show. Love you. Stay tuned for the ladies after us, Michelle and Carol Ann. Okay. See you soon.